A very warm welcome to everyone joining us today for the 8th webinar of ReXtro 2025, the Silver Jubilee Tech Showcase of the Faculty of Engineering, University of Ruhuna. We live in a time where our connections travel through invisible pathways, where a single touch on a screen can reach across oceans. But in this fast-moving digital world, one element matters more than ever: trust. Today's session, Reinventing Connectivity with Trust, the security blueprint for 6G, invites us to step into the next era of communication where security is not an option but a promise. This webinar reminds us that behind every network lies a human story: our privacy, our safety, and our confidence in the systems we rely on. I'm Chamodi Sashnika, a third-year undergraduate from the Faculty of Engineering, and it is my pleasure to guide you through this session. Let's begin our journey into the future, a future where every connection can be trusted. Every innovation begins with trust, and every secure connection begins with vision. Today, we are honored to welcome a leader who has dedicated his life to shaping both. Associate Professor Madhusanka Liyanage is a globally recognized expert in cybersecurity, 6G networks, and privacy-preserving AI. He serves as an associate professor and adjunct fellow at University College Dublin and as an adjunct professor at the University of Oulu, Finland. With over 250 publications, 7 books, and numerous awards, including the IEEE ComSoc Outstanding Young Researcher Award and the Tom Brazil Excellence in Research Award, he continues to influence the future of secure communication worldwide. He has also been ranked among the top 2% of scientists globally for multiple consecutive years. As the director of NETS Lab, he leads groundbreaking research in secure 6G architectures, federated learning, and blockchain-driven trust systems. His work ensures that the networks of tomorrow are not only faster, but safer, smarter, and truly trustworthy. Sir, it is a privilege to welcome you to ReXtro 2025.
Okay, thank you for the nice introduction. So I think I can start the session. So let me share my slides. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so thank you very much again for inviting me for this webinar series. So I am Madhusanka Liyanage from University College Dublin, Ireland, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about some kind of visionary research area, which is 6G network. So we know 6G is the next generation of mobile network, which we are expecting to have in 2030 world. So I will talk you through how this 6G will be reinvent connectivity, and we need to have a trust in as one of the foundation of this transformation. And without that, what kind of issues we will be facing in the coming network. So a little bit about my background. So I'm a associate professor at UCD, and I'm mainly working on the 5G and 6G security. And I'm leading this network softwarization and security lab at UCD. So this is one of the leading research lab in the domain of 6G security. And we are participating in many European projects. Currently, we are involved with 6 EU projects on AI and 6G domain with funding over 12 million euros. And we are highly active in publication. We have more than 300 publications in domain of the mobile network security. So, what is this 6G? So, 6G is the next generation of mobile network we are expecting to have. So, when we look at the evolution of mobile network, it has been evolved over various generations since last 50 years. So, we starting from the first generation, which we had like the analog communication. We moved to the digital communication in the second generation, and third generation introduced the mobile internet connectivity mainly. And the fourth generation, we got the uh, more into these IP-based communication and much faster mobile internet. I think most of you are much familiar with how the 4G has been working, and we are still using 4G in many countries. And then since 2020, we moved toward the 5G of the current mobile network. So we introduced a radical change how the architecture has been designed for the mobile network. We integrated more into this cloud computing and network softwarization concept into the 5G. Basically, we wanted to enable a lot of application. Actually, 5G has promised a lot, many things to be implemented, but in reality, the implementation of these new services or new application was not possible because of the limitation how we can manage the 5G network and how we can actually use the full potential of the 5G was questionable without the additional support. So this is where actually the 6G comes up. Like we try to understand like what went wrong in 5G, and we were trying to solve this problem and what are the best possible scenarios we can use to solve these issues and come up with a new uh, mobile generation for the next 20 or for 30 years. So when it comes to the 6G, actually, we are trying to improve the capabilities of 5G by integrating new technologies and also enabling the new set of application. So if someone asks about the 6G, like most of the people think it's like a more speed, more bandwidth, more better connectivity and those kind of things. But 6G is something is beyond just speed. So it's basically we are trying to have like a more intelligent autonomous network which provide the global integration. So this is something actually we try to achieve in 5G also. Like we try to have like a more global integration, especially using 5G to provide the connectivity for IoT devices, because we know IoT is used in almost every aspect of human life, including from the wearable devices, autonomous driving cars, or healthcare, many applications we are using IoT. So when you provide the connectivity for IoT, basically you are integrating a lot of services with the mobile network. But 5G is going to one step further, because just the integration of IoT is not going to solve how the IoT will be managed. So we missed something in 5G, that is the intelligence. So how we can automate these services. So this is where actually 6G is coming up. It's providing AI capabilities to the telecommunication network. So 6G is going to be intelligent and autonomous, and basically providing the expectation, satisfying the expectation of the 5G network. Different world and providing the uh, autonomous and intelligent connectivity. And also AI is playing a bigger role. There are many other technologies actually supporting in 6G, but AI is the one of the key technologies which stand out from the other technologies. So in the AI will be integrated almost every segment of the mobile network, including from the radio access network to the core network, and also devices and also the application. So basically, 6G, we can think it's like a AI native network because AI will be integrated to almost every segment of the network. So, so moving ahead, like why the trust is the new currency? Like why trust is important in this domain? Because if you build a network which is much fast and much powerful, it is like a vehicle without control. It has the speed, but very powerful, and it can go very fast, but it has a higher risk. Anytime, even in a single mistake, can have a fatal accident. So 6G network is like that. If you have a connectivity with a higher speed without the trust, it can be a very dangerous tool which very risk. So that's why the trust is the important factor. And also 6G is now interconnecting lot of things with the support of IoT, like autonomous system, critical infrastructure, and the security issues can arise from each and every system. And each node can be an opportunity to enable new services. At the same time, it can be a new risk which need to be tackled. And when we look at the 6G architecture, of course, we don't have a 6G architecture for the moment. There are some research work going on, like how the 6G architecture look like. So it is like a more like extension of the 5G network. So this is like one of the architectures we were referring, developed by one of the key project in Europe called Hexa phase two. And this project actually is defining like how the 6G architecture look like. It's like a blueprint of the 6G architecture. So basically, we have different layers like infrastructure layer, network layer, then we have application enabler, platform layer, then the application layer. So there are like different layers. Why the architecture is quite similar to what we have in 5G. And along with that, we have pervasive functionality. That means like the functions which are needed each and every layer of the 6G network. So among them, like we have AI, of course, AI is going to be one of the pervasive function which will be integrated every segment of the 6G network, and we have the security and privacy and resilience. So you can see the security and privacy is also have a similar weight as the AI functions, which need to be integrated almost every segment of the 6G network. So how we can build the 6G network trustworthy? So we're working on like how to design a trustworthy 6G. So we came up with a blueprint of 6G, a trust blueprint of the 6G. So we identified basically four fundamental pillars to enable the trustworthy 6G. So one is the secure intelligence, how we can protect the AI-driven decisions. Then the explainable and responsible AI, how we can make enable the transparency for the machine reasoning or the decision taken by the AI algorithm. Zero touch, zero trust security, how we can have the autonomy protection, how we can automate the security services, and the sustainable and quantum safe network. That means how we can make sure our security is lasts long, like because the 6G is going to be deployed in 2030 onward. So we need to have a security solution which can be available for the next 20 or 30 years ahead. So it has to be long-term security. So let's look at these pillars one by one. The first one is the secure intelligence, how we can protect in AI-driven decision. So when it comes to the AI has multiple roles in the 6G security. Because it can have like a multiple roles, like some roles are helping you to improve the security of the 6G network, and some role of AI can be a negative effect on the security of the 6G network. Let's start with the positive effect of AI in the 6G security. So one role of the AI can play in 6G is AI can be used as the defender for the 6G network. how we can use the AI as a defender. That basically we can use the AI to develop much advanced security solution. One example we can think about this anomaly detection. We use like intruder detection system or intruder management system. So in this kind of system, we need to identify any kind of anomaly, especially if some attacker is trying to attack the network. So the usually these things are used in the signature based on the packet recognition based scenarios, but using machine learning, we can have a much better IDS system, much better anomaly detection. So that's like one of the benefit, like how AI can be used as a defender to detect these attacks. And on the other hand, the AI can be used as a resilience enabler. That means it can provide proactive security against some of the attack, because this is quite critical requirement, because now 6G will be interconnecting different new applications, let's say like autonomous driving car scenarios. So if attacker get access to these autonomous driving cars, it can do a fatal damage, and even the human lives can be lost. So this is why we have to make sure the autonomous driving system is not vulnerable for attack. Even the attacks which haven't happened, we have to predict them, and we have to prevent have some kind of precaution against that. So this is kind of a way like we can make the 6G network resilient, especially those kind of attack which haven't happened yet. We call them as a zero-day attack. So how we can detect the zero-day attack? Actually, AI can help a lot to detect these zero-day attacks, especially the explainable AI, like much advanced AI technique can help us to define a new patterns. And this pattern-based recognition is much effective in detecting the zero-day attack. So these are like the positive effect of the AI in security. And at the same time, AI can be have a negative effect. One of these things is the offender. Of course, we use AI to protect the network. Same time, the attackers can use the AI to attack the network. They can design much advanced security solution or attack solution against these 6G network, especially when you know about how the firewalls work or how the IDS systems are working. You can use AI to mitigate these attacks. You can design like dynamic and adaptive attacks with the support of AI. And these kind of attack is very difficult to detect and mitigate. And then AI systems are itself can be a target, because AI has several vulnerabilities. Because during the training phase of the AI system can be vulnerable for like poisoning attack, data poisoning or model poisoning kind of attack. Or in the inference phase, it can be vulnerable for the adversarial AI attack. Even the privacy can be violated, maybe like inference attack. So there are many different attacks possible on the AI system. So somebody is attacking this AI system itself, it can be also jeopardize the whole operation of the 6G network. So these factors actually we need to be considered like the dual role of AI, whether it is providing a benefit or negative impact we have to be considered. So and then AI will be that's why I was mentioning like AI can help us to defend the 6G network, but if we can defend AI first, that's only we can do it. Because if you don't have like a trustworthy and reliable AI system used in your 6G network, it itself can be a vulnerability. Okay, so now let's move on to the next idea, like explainable and responsible AI, transparency for the machine learning. So the thing is like the using the AI itself it's beneficial, but we can't use the AI as it is, because most of the AI algorithm we are using it's like a black box type of model. So most of the time you get a pre-trained model and you fine tune it and you do the hyperparameter optimization and you get the certain level of accuracy and you are happy with that and you're thinking your AI model is working. But you don't know what is the reason what is the connection between input and output, and why you are getting this particular output, whether this output is ethical or it is fair, or those kind of information you don't know. Most of your AI model and machine learning models are working like that. It's like a black box type of model. So using this kind of AI algorithm is not possible in future 6G network. Especially the European Union has recently provide this AI act actually defining categorizing different critical infrastructure into different categories. If that critical infrastructure go to like high risk category, you can't use that kind of black box type of AI model. You need to have like a much reliable and ethical and responsible AI system to be deployed. So unfortunately, 6G goes under this critical infrastructure category. That means whatever the AI algorithm you are going to be used in the 6G has to be satisfying these requirements. So how you can ensure your AI model is working an intended manner, it is working in fairly, or those kind of information, how you can get. There are many ways you can get some information, but explainable AI is one of the most promising scenarios we can use to understand how the AI models are working. So the explainable AI actually one of the tools actually you can use to get understand like which input is impacting on the output, which features has more influence on the output. So that actually give some sense like whether your AI model is working in ethical and fair manner. So this actually help you to justify your AI model is comply with the different regulations we have. For example, EU AI Act or GDPR, or even if you consider about the Green Deal kind of policies or any of those things, if you can verify and justify like how the AI system is working. So this is like the one of the primary usage of the explainable AI. But explainable AI itself has other benefits. We can use it to do a lot of new things in the security point of view, because explainable AI can give additional information how the AI system is working. This is help you to actually the real time fine tuning of your model that actually help you to have a better accuracy and also reduce the false positives in the attack detection. And also, you can use explainable AI as a method to do the parameter selection in the pre-process in the parameter selection. So then you can design an AI model with the less number of parameters to get the higher level of accuracy. We have already got with some experiment. We saw like the reducing the number of features we are going to use not only reduce the size of the model but also increase the accuracy of the detection of certain attacks. This is really important when we are having like a low cost and lightweight AI model deploy in a 6G environment like edge devices or IoT devices. And also it can reduce the cost of operation. And also like it can help you to have a discovery. For example, like you are having additional information how the AI model is working, and also additional information why it is classifying as attack. So those information can be used to identify the new attack. So especially if you train the model using the explainable data, you can improve the zero-day attack detection. So we already got some interesting results. So using the explanation for the training can help a better accuracy in the zero-day attack detection. So this is a really important area we want to work. That's really like if you the main reason is like if you can't explain how what our AI is designed, you can't really trust what AI is defending, right? So that's why we need to have a better understanding how the AI system is working before you they using them as a security solution. And the next scenario is like how we can tackle the scalability limitation, because now we are talking about like connecting billions of IoT devices and how we can provide the security for these kind of system. This is where the automated security in 6G is coming from. So we are going toward the zero touch, zero trust architecture, so we can have like a better scalable security solution. not only the scalability, but also to address the dynamic nature of the 6G network. The 6G network is always changing. You are adding a new services, you are adding a new devices. Some of the devices will be going offline, and you can deploy new services at the radio access network with the support of ORAN kind of technology, or you can deploy new services at the edge of the network with the multi-access edge computing, or core network can be also deploy a new services very rapidly with the support of NFV. So there are like, this is like a very dynamic network which we haven't seen in 4G or 5G network. So we need to adapt the security solution according to this dynamic setting of the 6G network. So we can't do that with without automation. The manual security configuration what we have is not going to work. So this is why we are trying to adapt this zero trust security architecture, especially the zero trust security architecture is coming from zero trust service management architecture, or ZSM. So this is basically defined how the security services manage, how the normal network services is managed in 5G and beyond network. So we can adapt this ZSM architecture to security management as well, especially integrating the simple closed loop automation kind of scenarios, like observe what is happening in the network and analyze whether if something is changing. Then we decide what to do, what is the best possible action, and then act automatically. The decision enforcement will be happening. So this is the idea of a normal, a simple closed loop automation. So this all the step of this closed loop automation can be automated with the support of AI. So the AI-driven predictive security algorithm deployment is also another area where we can have like much automated security architecture. And in order to support the zero trust architecture, actually we have to redefine how the authentication is working in the mobile network. So if you know in the 4G, even in the 5G network, we still go for like a pre-authenticated architecture. That means you have a SIM card. So with the SIM card, you can get connectivity for the mobile network. So all the information related to authentication will be collected by the time you are buying the SIM card, and the SIM card is the basic authentication is using the information in the SIM card is using for the basic authentication. Once you authenticated, there will be a no more validation of your credential, so you can use the services continuously. So that's why once you register with the network, you can use all the services. But this kind of approach is not going to work in even in 5G and also 6G, because the main reason is like when you connect like millions of IoT devices, you can't do the pre-authentication because these IoT devices doesn't have like a SIM card or something like that to provide uh, these kind of pre-authentication information. So that's why we have to get rid of this pre-authentication scenario and go for the zero trust architecture. What is the zero trust architecture? Is like it's never trust, always verify. That means there's no pre-authenticated users. So whoever want to use the services in the network, they have to get authenticated before using the network services. So this is actually a very nice architecture, help us to have like a much scalable service deployment and also addition of the user. So this zero trust architecture actually help us with the zero trust architecture as well to have like more automated security. So this is why in the 6G we think the trust is a continuous thing. It's not a, like a one-time certificate. So we need to have like automation to do enable these kind of automatic trust verification every time somebody wants to use the network. And the next thing we are considering in the security is the energy efficient and the responsible security, because in as a requirement, like we are trying to have a much greener and energy efficient network in coming years. So this is like one of the sustainability goal defined by the European Union, sorry, European nation. Uh, United Nations and also European Union also defined this Green Deal policy that basically try to reduce the energy usage. So that means like 6G is going to be a much green network than the 5G or other network. If you go for like this green 6G scenario, if your security is wasting energy, so it is going to be a threat itself because those kind of security mechanism you can use in the 6G network because they are not comply with these Green Deal policies. So this is why it is very important when you are designing the security. We need to consider about the energy efficiency of this security solution as well. So most of the time when we are designing the security solution, we never thought about the energy efficiency. We thought about the best possible security solution for the possible attack. But now we are thinking, what are the possible ways we can make sure the security solution is energy efficient while providing the required level of security. So there are many different research angles we can look into. Like we are now working on developing energy aware cryptographic mechanism. Like we are trying to reduce the number of computational functions and the transmission in the or the round in the cryptographic operation. And then we can also go for like adaptive security. That means like we can adjust the security according to the context and also the availability of the energy. Maybe you don't need higher level of security in some cases. If you need to save the energy, you can reduce the security level. And we can, in terms of the privacy, also we have different solution like lightweight noise addition. If you go for like different privacy kind of scenarios, and also in the federated learning models, we can go for efficient aggregation mechanisms and also reduce the number of security operation. For example, like poison attack detection kind of scenarios, we can use these efficient federated learning models. And also 6G has like different level of resources, right? We have edge resources, cloud resources, and so on. So we can use this cloud edge continuum to have a better level of security. So we can have like multi-level security. In that case, like we can have like a low level or energy efficient security already at the edge of the network, and we can offload the higher critical or like a complex security solution for the green data centers. So in that way also we can reduce the total energy usage or design a green 6G security mechanism. And the next area we want to consider is the quantum resilience 6G. That means like 6G, as I mentioned, is we are going to use 6G in 2030 onward. That means we have to think about what kind of world we have in 2030 onward. Especially when we're looking at the development which happened in the quantum domain, it is very likely this quantum computer is going to be available in that time, at least in 2035 onward. So availability of the quantum computing is going to break the current cryptographic landscape because we are using the classical cryptographic mechanism, assuming the existing computing resources are not enough to break the cryptographic algorithms with the infinite time. But this is going to be changed with the quantum computers. And most of the security solution is going to, or classical cryptographic method is going to be break with the classic with this time. So with the finite time. So this is why we have to think about the quantum resistance 6G and integrate the quantum resistance security solution already in the different segment of the 6G network. So we are looking at this post-quantum safe cryptographic mechanism. That means the cryptographic mechanism which can be already implemented with the current computers, but they are safe against the quantum solution like this hash-based or lattice-based cryptography, which already identified as a good post-quantum cryptographic mechanism. And even NIST recently uh, defined this Dithylium and Krabos, and those are like the post-quantum cryptographic mechanism, which can be implemented already with the existing computer resources, but is still secure against the quantum computer. So we have to adapt these kind of uh, kyber kind of solution or post quantum cryptographic mechanism to protect the 6G against the quantum based attack. Beyond that, actually, we have to design this quantum resistant network in hardware, and also think about the attacks which can happen in the quantum based system, like cloning attack or collision attack, and provide a security solution against that. So this is really important of the sustainability of the 6G network. So so like how we can address these issues, that is something actually our research group is currently working on. So these are like the key research areas we are looking at, like how we can make sure the key can be secured. And our group is participating in several projects, not only the theoretical algorithm development but also deployment them on top of the real 5G and 6G network, and we are trying to get better understanding how they are working in the real system. So with that, actually, I will conclude my talk today. So this is so we know the 6G will be redefining the connectivity. So and we need to define the trust from the beginning of the network. So otherwise, it is not going to be uh, protected and also efficient to use for the city based services. So we discuss about the four pillars of this foundation of trust: secure intelligent, how you can secure your AI services; explainable and responsible AI, how you understand how the AI system is working or the machine decisions are working; zero trust and zero trust security, how we can have security automation for the scalability and address the dynamic nature, and then the sustainable and quantum safe network to support the sustainability and the long-term security of the 6G network. So this is really important. Trust it's not just a layer in 6G as we discussed in the architecture. So it is a core requirement which enable this reinvention of the communication network. So thank you very much. So if you have any questions, so I'm happy to answer. And also please follow us in LinkedIn. So if you are really interested to work with us or follow our research work, so you can follow us in this LinkedIn page. And also if anyone interested to join my research team as a PhD or MSc or for the post study or postgraduate studies. So please follow us on the LinkedIn. We continuously post in our open portal. So that also the best place you can find our opening. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor, for that insightful and forward-looking session. And I believe most of our audience must have gotten maximum out of your session. So you have shown us that 6G is not just about faster networks, it is about secure, trustworthy, and human-centered connectivity. Your perspective reminds us that every connection carries responsibility and every network must protect conversation. Please questions through the Zoom and QA panel. And let's begin our discussions here. You can put your questions into the chat box if you have any. And we have opened our Q&A session. So I think there is a question. Would you be able to give any key starting points to learn cybersecurity as a hobby before doing a degree?
Yeah, I think the easiest way, I think there are like a lot of materials already available in the internet. I mean, you can start with some basic coding with, I think there are many YouTube videos available these days. I think back in the day, it was only the books you need to follow on like learning how these things are working. But there are many YouTube videos available these days to work on. But if you're really interested on go get into the career ahead on this with this security, I think it's a good idea for you to learn about the basic cryptographic tools, like how these key management systems are working, the classical cryptographic mechanisms, like how the hash functions are working, so how the digital signatures are working, and reading some and get some knowledge how these things are working. That will be really interesting. They are not so difficult. I mean, you don't need to have a lot of mathematical backgrounds to do those things. You just try to understand how this work, so that will help. And once you understand the basic principles of like how these things are working, so actually you can create your own security protocols. Like that is also not so difficult. And then you can simple one you can build, and then you can try to program it and see how it is working. So that kind of I think that will be give a, like a very good understanding how the cybersecurity is working.
Thank
And
you, Professor. Yeah, there's
there's
another
another
question.
question, right?
Yes, sir.
What's the global effects are needed to build a reliable 6G network? Yeah, I think this is something which is already happened in the European Union. You know, the global effect means like we have to get together, like not only the researchers but also industry to decide like how the 6G security look like what are the security solution which need to be integrated in the 6G network. This is actually something already happened in Europe. We have like different funding programs, Horizon Europe, and also European defense funding, and these fund is actually directly supporting for the 6G related the security efforts. So where the different people, academia, and also industry collaboratively design the security solution, and then they will be pushing them as a standard when they will be considered when we are developing the 6G architecture. And this effort is happening in the other part of the world as well. I think there are a lot of 6G initiatives in there's like 6G Americas in USA, and also Japan, Korea. They also have their own 6G program, and even in India we have this 6G Bharat 6G program or something. So everyone is focusing on like how to design the much better security solution. So everything, I mean, the mainly like the research funding is definitely needed to push forward these requirements. Okay, so there's another question. What is the role will AI and blockchain play in the securing the 6G uh, network? So I think I already explained a little bit about like how the AI is playing a role in the 6G security, like uh, maybe like a defender, and also it can be like a resilient enabler. And in the blockchain domains, actually, the blockchain can also have a lot of benefit, because blockchain itself can help us to have like a more automation enabler. Smart contract can help us to have like a more automated services. And most important thing I would say is like a blockchain can be a nice tool to have like a data management, because we know like AI systems is really depend on the data during the training phase and also the decision, inference phase. We need the data to execute the AI decision. But if this AI data, whatever the data we feed into the AI systems are not trustworthy, that will be a huge problem. Like all the system will be jeopardized. So that's like the data is the fuel for AI, but if you have the bad fuel, that the system is not going to work. So this is where actually blockchain can help, because blockchain is already shown a lot of benefits, like how we can design much advanced security, like the data management systems in IoT domain and those things. So this can be directly adapted in the security domain as well. How we can deliver like trustworthy and more countable data, which can be used for the for the security networks. Okay, so then there's another question: how can users trust be maintained in intelligent connection security network? Yeah, so I think this is a really good question. It's very difficult to manage the trust in the user system, especially when we have like millions of users. So we need to have like a dedicated trust management system if you go for like the trustworthy scenarios. But that's very difficult to handle. So that's why we are going for this zero trust architecture. So that means like we are not trusting anybody, but we you have to verify even before using the services. So this is like one of the way, like managing a trust for like a big system is not practical. But in some cases, actually, we need still to have like a trust management system. For example, like I was talking about like data, right? So we can't have a trust for the data. It is like nearly impossible to have like how you can mm, like measure the trustworthiness of data. Usually, you measure the trustworthiness of the data owner who's creating the data. So based on the trustworthiness of the owner, we define the trustworthiness for the data. So in that kind of scenarios, actually, we need to have like a kind of like a trust management system. So we can use like a blockchain kind of one approach that's available. And there are many other research work. I'm not so much familiar with the trust management system, but especially these reputation-based systems can be adapted to manage the trust. But it's going to be complicated. So we try to go for like more zero trust kind of architectures, as long as we try our best to enable the services without going for this trust management system. Any other questions? Okay, so can quantum machine learning replace the classifier with the same level of accuracy Okay, so I'm not an expert on the quantum machine learning, but as I know from the discussion with some of my colleagues who work on this quantum machine learning, for the moment, quantum machine learning doesn't have the level of accuracy as the classical machine learning. So at at a certain level, but I'm not qualified enough to answer like what is the main difference between the quantum machine learning and the classical machine learning needed. Unfortunately, I don't know much about that domain. Any other questions?
I think with that, we can conclude our Q&A session. So thank you very much, Associate Professor Madhusanka Liyanage, for sharing your expertise and vision with us today. Your insights into secure 6G networks, trust-driven design, and future digital ecosystems have given us a deeper understanding of the challenges and opportunities. And a heartfelt thank you to everyone who joined us today. Your engagement, curiosity, and reflection made this webinar truly meaningful. As we conclude today's session, let us remember technology is powerful only when it is trusted, and connectivity is meaningful only when it is secure. Thank you to everyone who participated and contributed to this discussion. Until we meet again, stay curious, stay inspired, and stay connected. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.